What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Roth Productions. As always, I am Chris, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is May 26th, 2024. So, as of yesterday, May 25th, we received our first major update for the Lanterns show that's going to be on Max. It's a DC project. It's going to be featuring a bunch of Lanterns, Hal Jordan, John Stewart. And this is what James Gunn had to say yesterday about that project. He said, yes, it's true. He put this out on social media. He's responding to reports that are being reported. I believe it was by Deadline Hollywood Reporter, basically confirming some speculations and signings. He said, yes, it's true. The Lanterns DCU series is putting together a crack team of writers based on a wonderful pilot script and Bible by Chris Mundy, Tom King, and Damon Lindelof. A hearty welcome to Chris and Damon as they join the DC Studios family. And he said jokingly, no welcome necessary for old Tom King, who has been here since inception. So Tom King, he has been attached to this Lanterns project since the beginning of the DCU, last year. And if you don't know who these three gentlemen are, I'll go ahead and give you an idea. Chris Mundy, he was the showrunner for Ozark. Ozark is a hit Netflix show starring Jason Bateman. I haven't seen it. I know of it. I've seen clips of it. But from my understanding and for what I've read, that Ozark is a show. It's one of the best shows on Netflix, apparently. Um, and that it was just a very gritty and serious, heart pounding type of show. Um, and yeah, if that's what the reviews are, then that must be a badass show. Tom King, my favorite comic book writer working right now. He's worked on a plethora of projects. Right now, he is doing, let's see, Human Target. As you see, a panel right there with Guy Gardner. As well, he's did Strange Adventures with Adam Strange. He did Mr. Miracle. So he's done so many DC projects, and he's dabbled with lanterns. As you see down there, you have Guy Gardner. So I'm very looking forward to see what his contributions are to the show. And finally, we have Damon Lindelof. If we don't know what he's done, all I gotta say is Watchmen. Watchmen is the TV series that he did back in 2019. I personally think it's top two, maybe even number one live action DC TV shows. I think it's just a wonderful interpretation of that story, and I rewatched it about a month ago, so I highly recommend it. So for this video, I'm gonna get into some fan cast and who I think should play certain major characters. Of course, we know the only one that's confirmed is Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Nathan is gonna be playing Guy Gardner in Superman, which comes out July 2025. Right now, they are in the middle of filming. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's gonna be in Ohio when they film in July, because it looks like a Hall of Justice set. And if you're gonna have a Hall of Justice, you're gonna have more than one superhero. And Guy Gardner is definitely would pull up. All right, so let's get into my first fan cast. This one's super unoriginal, but this is who I want to see play Hal Jordan, and that is Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell right now is on fire, and that is very understating his popularity right now. This is just a name off a couple of projects that he's done within the last year or two. Anyone But You, co-starring Sydney Sweeney. He starred in Top Gun Maverick. He's going to be in Twisters, which comes out in July, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, July. He was in Devotion, which is a Korean war movie. Kind of, it didn't do so well at the box office, but he was great in it. Um, and he's just been in so many projects. He has a new Netflix show, movie coming out where he's like a hitman. It's like a comedy. So Glenn Powell, to me, he's Hal Jordan. He's already played an aviator, and to see what he can do with that character, very much looking forward to it. If he does get cast, I believe he's talked about wanting to play a superhero. And I think he just fits the vibes of Hal Jordan and what that story, like what he can bring to that story in terms of acting, because he can do everything. He can do comedy, He can do very serious roles. He can be arrogant, like we've seen in Top Gun. So him as Hal Jordan, I think, is absolutely perfect. Here is another unoriginal casting. Trevante Rhodes as John Stewart. John Stewart, my childhood Green Lantern. So I'm very curious how they're gonna cast this character because that's the Green Lantern that I grew up with. Trevante Rhodes, I believe he was attached to play John Stewart a few years ago. I don't know how far that was or how true that was. I really have no idea. But Trevante Rhodes, my favorite project that he's done is Oscar award-winning Moonlight. He's also in Mike, which is a show on Hulu, I believe. He was in Bird Box. He was in, let's see, The Predator, which came out back in 2019. Excuse me, 2018. And I just Moonlight alone, that project. He isn't really in it that long. He's in it maybe probably 20 minutes, maybe I don't know. But in those 20 minutes, he was just wonderful. And this show, Lanterns, it's going to be very much a true detective vibe. And if you have, Trevante and Glenn Powell, I think their acting chops can definitely complement each other. All right, next we have Stephanie Signon as Jessica Cruz. Jessica Cruz, one of my favorite lanterns. She's Mexican American, which I absolutely love. Stephanie Sigmund, she's been not as many. She's been in popular projects. She hasn't really starred in them. But most notably, she's in SWAT, the TV show. She was in Annabella Creation. She was in James Bond Spectre. And she's done other projects. She's from Mexico. So if she were to do Jessica Cruz, obviously, I think she'd be doing it justice. And I think she just absolutely looks the part. So I've seen a good amount of fan castings for Jessica Cruz on social media, the last year or so, and I have yet to see her name pop up. But whenever I was doing some research on who I think should be Jessica Cruz, Stephanie Sigmund, whenever I saw her, I was like, yes, that's Jessica. Jessica Cruz, she's a lantern. She's newish. She was introduced like in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So she's been around for about 10 years, but she's had a significant impact in the lantern stories. Next, we have Aaron Dominguez as Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner, another Latino Hispanic Green Lantern. Um, Aaron Dominguez, I have yet to see his name at all in any single fan cast for anything. Whenever I think of Kyle Rayner, I think of someone who is in, late 20s, early 30s, someone who can be intimidating at times, very powerful, because that's what he could be a very powerful lantern. Aaron Dominguez, he is best known for Only Murders in the Building, which is a show on Hulu, starring Selena Gomez. He's in The Inspection. He's going to be in an up-and-coming horror film called Witchboard, which I haven't seen any promotions about, but apparently it comes out in July, so that's something I'm going to check out just to get a better idea of what he can do. Um, so if you have Kyle Rayner, very much a Justice League America Lantern, so he can be in the Lantern show as well as spinning off into other projects, bigger projects as well, like theatrical. So we shall see what they do with this character. Obviously, Jessica Cruz might not even be in it. Kyle Rayner might not even be in it. But these are just some lanterns who I think who I would love to see. Next, we have Kevin Michael Richardson as Kilowog. What more do I need to say? Kevin Michael Richardson. I'm gonna list off some projects: Lilo and Stitch, Cleveland Show, Uncle Grandpa, Family Guy, Gravity Falls, Invincible, Batman, Trolls, Super Mario Brothers, Boss Baby, more Batman, TMNT, Last Airbender, Mortal Kombat, Teen Titans, Samurai Jack. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of Batman projects, but he has voiced Kilowog. He voiced Kilowog in the Green Lanterns animated series that came out in 2012, 2011, I believe. And Kilowog, obviously, he's going to be CG. He's not going to be played in, prosthetics. So why not have Kevin Michael Richardson come back as Kilowog? His voice is absolutely impeccable. Um, and we're gonna get Kilowog live action for the DCU. We already got him for the 2011 Green Lantern. So I think we'll see him back. I hope so. Lastly, we have Luke Evans as Sinestro, another very popular fan cast amongst the Green Lantern fans because Luke Evans, he's been fan cast as Sinestro for literal years. Whenever I was looking up actors who can play Sinestro, I just couldn't think of anybody else. I was looking at people, but I was like, no, 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 maybe Luke Evans, yeah. So Sinestro, very much what I think they should do with his story is what they've done before. Have him being in the Green Lanterns, but he takes justice. It's very black and white to him, Sinestro. His practices is very stern and can be seen as harsh. And if you do that story, you could do since this is going to be a TV series, you can definitely have Sinestro over time flip over, become, a Yellow Lantern, things like that. Very much a story I would love to see. Luke Evans, of course, he is in Beauty and the Beast, Lord of the Rings series, Hobbit, um, just so many projects that he's been in. So I think when it comes to Sinestro, Luke Evans is my choice. So guys, my question to you is, who do you want to see in this live action Lantern show? Um, I think obviously we're gonna get Hal Jordan, we're gonna get John Stewart, we're gonna get Guy Gardner, of course. Jessica Cruz, Kyle Rayner, Kilowog, those are just hopeful. I'm hoping we get them. I think there's a high chance that we get Sinestro, because they need a villain, or I guess someone to turn into the villain. So guys, let me know what you think down below. Who do you want to see on this project? I'd love to read y'all's comments. As always, guys, I'm Chris. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.